There's a strange moment that happens in most people's mornings. You wake up, not fully. Something moved before you did. Your body knew what to reach for before your mind had even arrived. No decision happened, no conscious thought. The hand already knew the script, notifications, time check, messages, bad news, someone else's life, a video, another one, and somehow 15 minutes disappear without permission. Then the day begins. Bathroom, breakfast, same route, same phrases. Morning, I'm tired. Long day ahead. Coffee, traffic, screens, waiting, repeating. Then suddenly, it's dark outside again, and something uncomfortable slips into the room for a second. A strange feeling. Like the day didn't fully belong to you, but the feeling doesn't stay long. There's dinner, scrolling, exhaustion, sleep, repeat. And here's the strange part. Most people call this normal, not because it feels alive, not because it feels meaningful, because it feels familiar. There's a difference, a dangerous one. You can repeat something long enough that your nervous system mistakes it for safety, even when it's quietly draining the life out of you. And if that sounds dramatic, pay attention to the language people use. Just getting through the week. Same old thing. Can't wait for Friday. We go again. Listen carefully. That's not language people use when they feel free. That's survival language. Something inside already knows the day is happening to them. If this were laziness, rest would fix it. But people rest and still wake up exhausted. At what point did life become a routine you perform instead of an experience you inhabit? Most people think repetition happens accidentally. It doesn't. The human brain is designed for efficiency. It automates. That's its job. Wake up enough days at the same time, the body remembers. Drive the same road enough, you stop seeing it. Hear the same problems, you stop reacting. Even suffering becomes procedural. That's the terrifying part. Humans adapt to almost anything, including lives they secretly dislike. Especially lives they secretly dislike, because repetition numbs resistance, and once resistance disappears, the pattern hardens. You stop questioning. You stop noticing. Eventually, you stop remembering that things could feel different. This is how loops become identities, not overnight, quietly, patiently, almost politely. A person says, "I'm just not creative." No. At some point, routine replaced curiosity. Someone says, "I'm always anxious." Maybe. Or maybe your nervous system has memorized chaos so deeply it mistakes stillness for danger. Someone says, "This is just who I am." Sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's just repetition wearing a name tag. Pay attention to how quickly silence gets interrupted. Every hour of your day is competing for ownership. Your attention, your outrage, your fear, your dopamine. The first thing many people see in the morning isn't sunlight. It's a screen already telling them what matters, what to fear, what to desire, who to envy, what to buy, who to hate. And after enough repetition, you stop asking whether your thoughts are actually yours. You just continue the sequence. Wake, consume, react, work, escape, sleep, repeat, wake, consume, react, work, escape, sleep, repeat. At some point, it stops feeling like living and starts feeling like maintenance, like you're servicing a machine you never consciously agreed to operate. The strangest prisons rarely feel like prisons, because eventually, you stop noticing the cage. Here's where things get uncomfortable. The average day is not random, it's scripted. Not in some dramatic conspiracy movie way, something quieter, something harder to detect. Patterns shape perception, Perception shapes emotion. Emotion shapes behavior. Behavior becomes identity. Then, identity protects the pattern, which means the day you repeat is slowly becoming the person you become. People think change announces itself. Usually, it slips in quietly, or doesn't. That should disturb you a little, because people obsess over years, 5-year plans, life goals, future visions. But a life is usually decided inside ordinary Tuesdays, inside repeated mornings, repeated reactions, repeated excuses, repeated emotional habits. You don't become someone suddenly. You rehearse them, again and again and again. Most people think transformation is dramatic. Usually, it's microscopic. A repeated thought, a repeated avoidance, a repeated emotional loop. Someone disrespects you. You react the same way. A setback happens. Same emotional pattern, loneliness, same distraction, stress, same coping mechanism. One bad day becomes a lifestyle. One fear becomes personality. One emotional scar becomes architecture. And eventually, you can predict entire futures based on repeated emotional habits. Not because destiny is controlling people, because repetition is. Watch carefully. A lot of people are not living new days. They're reliving emotionally recycled versions of old ones. Different date, same nervous system, same fears, same internal conversations, same emotional weather. The calendar changes. The self doesn't. That's why time feels faster as you grow older. Not because life speeds up, because novelty disappears. The brain stops recording. Repetition blurs memory. When nothing changes internally, months collapse into fog. Then one day, someone looks up and says something devastating. Where did the time go? But time didn't disappear. Attention did. Presence did. Conscious participation did. If your days are rehearsed, who exactly is writing the script? This part is difficult because it stops being about society and becomes personal, maybe painfully personal. You say you want change, but every day secretly protects sameness, not because you're weak, because familiarity feels safer than uncertainty. Even when familiarity hurts, humans don't just fear failure, they fear unfamiliar versions of themselves. A new life sounds exciting until it requires becoming someone your current identity doesn't recognize. That's where most people retreat, back into routine, back into emotional predictability, back into the known suffering, because known suffering feels manageable. Unknown possibility feels dangerous, so people stay. You stop bringing up what bothers you because you already know exactly how the conversation ends. You reread messages over and over and still don't reply. And here is the mirror nobody likes looking into. If every morning begins the same, if every emotional reaction repeats, if every fear remains untouched, if every distraction returns on command, then what exactly changes? Your age, your bills, your responsibilities? Because internally, you may still be standing in the same emotional room from 10 years ago. Same wounds, same avoidance, same hidden grief, same self-negotiations, different clothes, older face, same loop. You thought life was moving. Sometimes only the clock was. Most people keep waiting for a moment that never schedules itself. Nobody arrives to wake you up. Not permanently, not dramatically. No perfect book, no magical mentor, no cinematic turning point. Awareness arrives quietly, usually through discomfort, exhaustion, the strange feeling that says, I cannot keep repeating myself like this. That moment matters. Because for the first time, you stop obeying the script and start seeing it, really seeing it. Strangely enough, loops don't usually break through courage. they break through interruption. Something small stops feeling normal. Paying attention to your morning, questioning your automatic reactions, sitting in silence long enough to hear your real thoughts underneath the noise, changing one repeated behavior. Not because productivity experts said so, because repetition shapes identity, and identity shapes reality. The smallest conscious act matters more than people realize. A different response, a different question, a different pattern. That's how the script weakens, not dramatically, repeatedly, because the same law that trapped you can free you. Repetition. That's the irony. The loop that imprisoned you is also the mechanism of escape. But most people won't do it. Not fully. Because awareness has a cost.